Hello, hello, hello. welcome. Office hours for entrepreneurs. Welcome, Leverage Nation. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know when you can see me okay and hear me okay. Fire away in the chat. I would appreciate it. You can see here I've got some good bedhead going this morning. I've been working away, baseball cap on, backwards, all that good stuff, and I don't know what I did. I set my hat down someplace, so you're just gonna have to put up with my ugly mug here. I'm in the grind. Good morning. Hey, what's up, man? Richard, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Good morning, Tim, Patrick. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Happy Friday. Oh, thank you very much, David. Thank you for asking. They are doing good now. Yeah, my little one has been home for most of the week with a stomach flu. Which you remember those when you were a kid. Hopefully you haven't had one in a long time, but I'm sure you remember as a kid, you get one of those and it just hits you out of nowhere type of thing, and then you're getting after it, right? For like a full 24 hours. And that's where we were. She's such a trooper. My little one is so tough, I guess, and she's the sweetest thing in the world, but she's tough. And I think it's because she has older sisters, so she just never complains about anything. And I mean, there was zero whining, there was zero nothing. I mean, the whole time, and she was sick. I was glad to have her. Glad to have her home and be able to take care of her and all that good stuff. So, but she's doing good. Thank you. Looks like we got some new folks on here today. Good morning, John Randall. Good morning, Sean. Good to see you. Man, we got a good mix of some of the crew that's been with me for years and some new folks. Hey, Scott, welcome. Glad to have you here. Jason says, hey, Mike, just saw you and Billie Jean a bit ago. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Jason. Thank you for being here. Richard says, hello, looking forward to it. Awesome. Jimmy says, what's cracking? I've been on these calls in a while. Good to see you, Jimmy. Welcome back. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Vegas too, my man. That's awesome. Richard says, when I'm sick, I'm a huge baby. Yeah, she's tough. I know, it's so funny, man. I know a lot of adults that are huge babies when they're sick. She's tough. What's up, Brian? Good to see you, sir. Patrick says, well, the thing you just did with Billie Jean live, so you're like Superman in the phone booth. No, that was a recording. That's leverage, right? Leverage. We did our live one on what day was that? Did our live one on Monday. And so that was a recording because scheduling wise, we couldn't make it work out. So, but hopefully you didn't mind, and I can answer any questions you have for sure. Good morning, Kamal. Welcome. Okay, so cool. Kamal says, where can I ask my questions? Good. So you can ask your questions here in the chat, or I'm going to go ahead and put in the StreamYard invite link. If you want to join me on camera and we can have a conversation, then we can do it that way as well. So yes, you can post right here in chat, in YouTube chat. I also just put in that StreamYard link. So if you hit that StreamYard link, you can come on as a guest here on camera, on audio, all that good stuff. So if you're set up to do that and want to do that, and your question is maybe a little bit more complicated, then you can do that as well. Larry says, cheers, good to be back from vacay. Awesome, Larry. Yeah, it's always good when coming back from vacay is good, right? I love to go on vacation, but I love to work while I'm on vacation. And I love to, I always love to come home. I always love to come home and get right back to it. I don't know. I think by most people's standards, I'm a poor vacationer. I prefer to be working vacations. It's because my life is a vacation. I love what I'm doing every day. Patrick says, don't mind at all. Excited about that opportunity. Awesome. Yeah, I am as well. Yeah, Patrick is referring to, and I think some other folks have referred to, my good friend Billie Jean and I are launching an investment club, if you will, to ride along with us as we are going to look to buy a business or multiple businesses in the years ahead here, and then grow those businesses and sell those businesses. So we're buying them specifically with the intention of growing them pretty quickly and selling them. So these are not, this business that I do for the long haul. I want to be working with entrepreneurs for the rest of my life, doing this kind of work. And I just enjoy it. I love it. And it's a lifestyle thing to me, right? Versus those businesses, the businesses that Billie Jean and I are working on, we are working on specifically to buy, to grow, and to sell, and do that in a pretty condensed time frame. Jesse says Mike's own Shark Tank. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is something. I mean, one, I have been interested. So I almost, as a career, went and did turnarounds as a career. I've always loved the idea of buying businesses and then being able to fix them and extract a ton of value out of them in a short period of time by doing that. And really good turnaround artists can make just crazy amounts of money very quickly by going in and doing that. So I almost went and did that as a career. And I actually studied a lot about buying businesses, turning around, all that good stuff early in my career. And then when I ran Everon, I bought a couple of businesses. And so I got that experience in doing acquisitions and seeing the impact that could have. And then I sold my business, sold Everon. And so there's just a real appeal to it to me. And I have been around private equity guys, VC guys that are my friends. I also have some really good friends that have sold their businesses for ungodly amounts of money that the way it happened taught me a lot about some of the creative structures. So I've got all of that history. And then I've also just been watching as, thank goodness, this whole crowdfunding thing has become a reality. And just in the last year or so, if you don't pay too much attention to that, so crowdfunding essentially means that even if you guys aren't accredited investors, you can now participate in investing in a business and buying a business. And you think about it, you could understand the reason why they had accredited investor requirements for people to invest in stuff, because if there's a bunch of scam artists out there saying, hey, I'm starting a business, buying a business, and they can take money from anybody, people who aren't financially sophisticated, then there's a lot of people out there that got screwed, right? So they put in accredited investor protections so that you had to be able to demonstrate, hey, I'm financially savvy. I have $1 million. Like I didn't get that by being dumb. Let me use my money to invest in businesses, right? So with crowdfunding, they have gotten rid of that requirement with some other requirements to go along with it to still have some protection, on this. But they have said, hey, normal people can invest in startups now. And that, to me, I just love entrepreneurship. I love the most important reason why I love entrepreneurship is not the money. It is ownership. And by ownership, I mean the mental benefits of ownership. I mean that when you come to work every day in something that you have a stake in, it changes your life. It changes your approach to work. It's just like the same reason why in neighborhoods where people own their homes, the neighborhoods are much more well taken care of than neighborhoods where people rent their homes. It's just human psychology. When we have ownership in something, we are better. We are better. Not just the company. We are. And I think entrepreneurship and what's happening now with everybody becoming an entrepreneur, everybody having a side hustle going on, I think it's the best thing in the world, because now we are getting more and more and more and more people throughout the world that have as Jesse said, that skin in the game. They've got a stake. They've got ownership. And that mentally changes people. It changes how we approach our day and approach our work and approach interacting with each other. And to me, the compounding effect of that, I don't think that there's anything more powerful than that in the world. I really don't. And so crowdfunding now allows everybody to get involved, right? And so I'm super excited about that. So you combine the history of me being interested in buying businesses and doing takeovers, plus now crowdfunding is a possibility, plus software has just become, software is eating the world, right? And it's an amazing business model. And so you combine all of these things together, it creates really, really big opportunities. So about 2 years ago, when I sat down and I did my planning for myself and said, okay, Mike, what is the long-term vision, all that stuff, 2 very, very clear breakdowns for me. One, I wanted to continue to build my business, working with entrepreneurs, building community with entrepreneurs, training, things like that. And I want to do that forever. And it's a lifestyle for me. I want to do it forever. And then, and it's a great income business. I make a very, very good income, but it's not a great equity business. I can't sell it really well. It's me, and I don't want to sell it. So I also want to be a smart entrepreneur who is building equity in things that I can sell and have the big upside of that as well, right? So the other half then of my focus as an entrepreneur is exactly what we're talking about here, trying to buy, build, and sell these software businesses that are directly related to my audiences that I already have, so that I have an unfair advantage. And we're working with Billie Jean. We have an unfair advantage of, okay, we've already got a lot of small business customers. We should be able to go out and get software that you guys should want, that our community should want and need, right? If not, why would we invest in that software and try and build that business? So we should have a good inside advantage to be able to say, hey, look, you guys can participate with us as investors, and hopefully you're just going to turn right around and be customers of the software. We all win, because now we've got a software business that everybody has some ownership in and is generating revenue because you're customers, and now we all get the equity upside of it. It just makes a whole lot of sense, and it's super exciting to me. So anyway, that's that. Yes, and if I can answer any questions on that, I'm absolutely happy to do that. Patrick said, I was in Circle yesterday and saw an Access group pop up and disappear. So your call cured my FOMO. Good. Yeah, we decided to have a separate Circle environment so that the branding and everything was clear. Wouldn't want to confuse it. Jeremy says, I wouldn't do it any other way. That's right. Absolutely. All right. Jennifer says, we're getting set up our sites to position ourselves as MSPs. Should we still list what assets they get with the software? My focus is more on the reputation or resale side for business coaches. Yeah. So Jennifer, I think, yes, I think that you should. Here's why. Because if you're just listing the features of the software, you're much more commoditized, right? There are lots of other businesses out there that can also list the features of the software, right? So whether it's other high-level, partners, or it's Bird Eye or, Podium or any of those businesses, they can all list features that are going to look and sound very similar to your features. So, Jennifer, and I don't know, forgive me, I don't know if you're in my MSP Academy program, but in my MSP Academy program, I talk about the concept of a signature system and how to design a signature system. So your signature system is that overall presentation of the software, the tools, also the assets, and then the services. So if you said your entire signature system, you can see, I see you're focused on reputation and resale. So it could be, we provide, this review capture tool, this thing, these, an automated email platform. So you can now cancel whatever you're paying for email. Plus, we also have reputation getting campaigns, reputation saving campaigns, all that type of stuff. Jennifer's saying, nope, you missed it. Uh-oh. Should we still list what assets they get with the software? Uh-oh. Jennifer, I see you on there. You ready to come on and straighten me out? Okay. Hold on one second. Here we go. Oh, you dropped off. Uh-oh, try and come back, Jennifer. I had you on there for 1 second. Sounds like I'm answering the wrong question. Richard says, it's always been very fascinating to me. A lot of people acquire assets like real estate. I've always wanted to eventually move over to acquiring companies. Yeah, I've never been nearly as comfortable with real estate. Not that you shouldn't, invest in real estate. I'm not saying don't invest in real estate. I'm saying in terms of me being able to control my future and my destiny, I'm just much more comfortable with a business, because the business you can change much more, right? Versus real estate is pretty darn fixed. So it's just different potential upsides and stuff like that. But I mean, real estate's still a great investment if you know what you're doing and it's the right time and all that good stuff. All right, Jennifer, I see you there. How are you?
I am good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. All right.
Hey.
Straighten me out
Yeah,
here.
you were going down the wrong rabbit hole.
Straighten me out.
Yeah, so I do have my signature system already for
Perfect.
business coaches. It's basically going to be the whole lead generation plus the coaching program build out. I build out for them to manage their membership and all of that. Workshops, the flows for that, all of that, lead magnets, everything. But my question was, yes, we sell the services, and I don't remember if you remember coaching me last week, but we talked about the email marketing. So I have that down pack, the 2 levels, the content delivered only, and then the content, the customized content delivered at the $19.97. So perfect. But when we set the site up, I know we want to get away from, just like you said, commoditizing ourselves. So should we also list somewhere that they're getting all these things that HighLevel has to offer in addition to the build out that we're doing?
I think that you should, yes, because I think that makes the justification for investing in your services much easier if they know that they're getting all of those tools as well, because those tools feel tangible, right? One, and two, they're probably already investing in something similar, and so they start to do the math and go, oh, wait a minute, if we can cancel that, then this, that we're signing up here with Jennifer kind of pays for itself, right? So I would definitely list those things. I would, I love, as you know, visually with my R4, my triangles and stuff, I love to just be able to say, hey, look, this is built on a foundation of tools and technology, including boom, 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 boom. And then we layer on our campaigns and marketing assets, boom, 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 boom. We provide this layer of services on top to make the whole thing work so that, you feel like you have a complete marketing team when you're barely lifting a finger, that type of thing. So I would essentially present it that way. But yeah, I think that you list those things so that way people again can there's tangible to it, and they can say, okay, I might be able to save some money here.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect. That's all I needed.
Awesome. I love it. I love that you're taking action. You're moving fast. I love it. Everybody be more like Jennifer. Keep on getting it done, Jennifer. We'll see you hopefully on the next call.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, let's see here. Son, yes, and I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Son? Are there website templates to leverage with the MSP Academy for the signature system? And thank you for your patience in getting you into the programs. Yes, so website templates are in the R4. Let me just go ahead and show you here real quick. Why don't we do this? Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go ahead and pull open the membership area here, and I'll give you a quick tour. Give me 1 second, guys. We have so much stuff in here that it can be hard to track everything down, and I get that. So just give me 2 seconds. And actually, I think I've made it even harder than it should be. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I have. I did some edits in here, and I think I removed. I sure did. All right. Gosh darn. Okay. Let me just share my screen here real quick, and I can show you my screw up, and then I can show you how you can get to what you're looking for. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, so this is inside of R4, okay? This is inside of R4, and there's a whole lot of stuff in here, which makes it difficult to track down. I'm gonna make it clear here. I'm sorry, this is inside of MSP Academy, excuse me. And then there's a bunch in here. And so I'm gonna make sure that I make this easier to find. So if you look right here in the bonus courses section, access to bonus courses, as a member of MSP Academy, you get access to leverage selling foundations and the services that scale mastermind, okay? Services that scale mastermind, and I think I will separate it out here so that you don't have to go digging for it. Services that scale mastermind gives you the all access pass, which essentially gets you access to everything, okay? Including the R4 sales system. And the R4 sales system is where the snapshots and websites that you're looking for are, but they are also listed in this services that scale mastermind separately as well, okay? So let me just show you here real quick. I'm gonna hop over to the services that scale mastermind because you have access to that, but I promise I will make this all easier for you when we hop off of this call today, okay? I don't want this to be this hard, and I went in there trying to clean some things up in this last week, and I can see now that I did clean some things up, but I goofed up and removed some things as well, okay? So this is now the services that scale mastermind. And in the services that scale mastermind, just right down here in resources, you're going to see snapshots and agency website templates. Okay. So here in this mastermind, I made it pretty much nice and easy right up here at the very top. Okay. In these snapshot downloads, you're going to see a bunch of them. And depending on exactly what you're looking for, the R4 sales snapshot, I think, is what most people will want to take advantage of. But I also have media sales snapshot. And if you are doing a more, if you've got your services really productized already, the SaaS snapshot can be a really nice look for you as well. Okay, so media sales snapshot is more like what I'm doing with Air San Diego, where I'm selling advertising and stuff on my site. But all of these three right here in particular are sales snapshots, and they also have website templates in them, which I'll show you here in just 1 second. And then if you go to agency website templates, you're going to see them right here as well for both WordPress and ClickFunnels, and then HighLevel as well. Okay. And then let me just hop over. I'm going to show you inside of the R4 snapshot real quick so that you can see what this looks like. And then I'll show you the SaaS snapshot as well real quick, so that way maybe you can, without having to download and go through them, you can see which one you're most interested in here real quick. So let me just pull up. All right. So this is inside of the R4 snapshot. Okay. And so let me just show you here real quick. you've got a variety of agency templates. And then this one in particular, so here's the new one that I built out, and it's got more of that SaaS theme and look to it as well as an option. So this one, it's got this more traditional website kind of agency looking homepage right here, but then it's also got this one that's a little more tech, SaaS looking and focus. It's also got a pricing plans page right here. It's got some good looking about us, testimonial pages. It's a little bit more modern looking theme than if you go back and look at some of these other templates. These are templates that I've had for quite a while. And they're perfectly fine. They're a little bit more dated, in design and stuff like that, but you can certainly update the design however you like. Inside of the R4 snapshot as well, you've also got the R4 sales system funnel. So this has got, all of your landing pages, sales call scheduling page, survey page, packages and pricing pages, and then, all of the workflows to go along with this. And then all the, email sequences, text, all that good stuff in there as well. Okay. So that you've got all kinds of templates and automation and all that good stuff in there. Okay. So hopefully you can find something that you can put to use there quickly. And then of course, you can customize them however you want. Okay. Let's see here. What is this MCIA program you keep talking about? MCIA? MSP? Is that what you mean? Is that, Brian, is it MSP Academy? Am I putting my words together because I'm talking too fast or something like that? Is that, I'm not sure, because MCIA, that's not ringing a bell to me. I think what you're referring to, is services@scale.com/MSPA is MSP Academy. Here real quick. You can go here, services@scale.com/MSPA. I can put it in the chat real quick. That is my program. It's my most, Patrick says I'm in the CIA. Yeah, that is my most hands-on complete program on how to transition from agency to marketing systems provider. Okay, that's what MSP is, marketing systems provider, so that you are selling a productized system, based on technology, marketing assets, and services, but that is very standardized, getting away from custom work. It's all recurring revenue. It's very largely automated, very high margin, all that good stuff. So transitioning from the typical, what I call time and talent model, where you're selling your time and talent, to what I call assets and automation. Okay, from time and talent to assets and automation. That's the goal. All right. Let's see here. Larry says, can I post to the mastermind? Yeah, sure. That is, and I'm assuming I don't know if you're referring to sales page. That's services@scale.com/mastermind. I just put a link there, Larry, in the comments here. That's just, I can just show you again. It looks very much like the page that we were just at, but it's mastermind instead of MSPA. Okay. Look at that. It looks almost identical. What's up, George? Good to see you, my man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, let's see here. Questions. Scott says, do you recommend going through your program first as opposed to toggling back and forth with onboarding and HighLevel? I feel like I just bought a jet and now I'm in the cockpit. So many tools. I know, Scott. And I'm not doing you any favors. I tried to do you favors by giving you access to everything. It's like, hey, join my thing and I'll just give you access to everything. It's probably the opposite of what most people need, because then they're just bombarded with stuff. So here's my recommended path. Okay. And there is actually a video where I post my recommended path and explain it depending on where you are specifically. I'll grab a link to that video actually while we're on the call here, so that you can have access to that. But thank you, Patrick. What I recommend specifically between my program and HighLevel here is that you get set up with HighLevel as quickly as you can. Just jump in with both feet to get it done. And the reason why I say that is it's kind of a pain in the neck, and there's a learning curve to it. And I have found that the worst thing that can happen, the thing that will limit people's progress the most, is that they get stuck there. They don't get it fully set up. They don't fully understand it, and then it's impossible at that point to really kind of build on top of it, right? Because you're mentally like you're on unstable ground. So get that set up as quickly as you can and just dive in, because the more you dive in, the faster you're going to get it up and running, right? And then I would recommend that you get through MSP Academy, Scott. If you're in MSP Academy, I would just go through MSP Academy. Don't worry about any of my other stuff at the moment. Just go through that, and then all the other stuff will be there when you need it. But MSP Academy is the most comprehensive step-by-step thing that I can take you through on how to set everything up correctly, all the way from strategy to tactics, okay? And all the way from initial value proposition to onboarding your customers. So that is what I would recommend to you. You can certainly start MSP Academy while you're getting HighLevel set up, because it's not like, setting up HighLevel is going to take, 10 hours out of your day every day. It's going to be something that you're going to, get on their onboarding process for a couple hours, and then get on support for a couple hours, and that type of thing. Ask some questions in my group, whatever. So it's not like you're just going to be sitting there doing HighLevel 24 hours a day. So you can definitely do, both of those things in parallel. I would just make sure that you are, if you're having to prioritize time, today, and you're looking at it going, should I go through Mike's next video on strategy, or finish setting up HighLevel and making sure I understand that? Finish setting up HighLevel and make sure you understand it. Okay. That's going to be your best bet. So let's see here. And Jennifer says, yes, definitely have to focus going in that back end. You get distracted. Yeah, I know it. Cave Media says, what do you think about using an SMS opt-in instead of an email opt-in? I like it for particular businesses, for sure. I would just say for particular businesses. I think if you're selling B2B, you still really need to be getting email addresses. I think if you're doing B2C, like you're running a restaurant or something like that, you absolutely should be getting SMS. So consumers, it's really SMS. B2B, if you're texting me B2B and I'm not a customer of yours, so like I only text you guys if I'm sending you notifications about things that you've bought, or like you're in an immediate sales process where you have given me your phone number. It's like we're set up to talk and I'm doing the chase, right? I'm following up and trying to close you or whatever. Those are the only times I text you, because I find it super invasive if B2B marketers are marketing to me regularly on text. I will unsubscribe from that faster than anything. So I know that that's just my personal preference, but I still think it reflects reality for most B2B, versus B2C situations. B2C, absolutely. Oh, awesome, Scott. Good. Perfect. I love it. Well, keep me posted. Anything I can do to help, okay? Richard says, how long to run through it and how to implement and onboard new clients? Richard, are you referring how long to run through MSP Academy? If that's what you're referring to, MSP Academy, I have on a 20-day drip, okay? And the reason why I have it on a 20-day drip is because I really, really want people to do the work, not to just go through and study. I've been doing this a long time, been doing training for a long time, and it's always fascinating to me to watch how people, buy stuff and consume stuff, or don't consume stuff and take action or don't take action. And I very much want to work with entrepreneurs, not students. And so I have it on a 20-day drip with the intention of go through a module, do the dang work. You've got, 48 hours before your next module comes out. So do the dang work and then get to the next module, right? So I've designed it that way. So that's 20 days, but and I know some people, 20 days, I can't wait 20 days. Look, if you can't wait 20 days to get through the whole thing, it's probably just simply not the right program for you. I think that your mindset is not correct, because honestly, you can't get anything done in 20 days. I mean, anything significant, right? Like literally the program takes you through defining the strategy for your business, all the way to defining the products and services and onboarding process and all that stuff. Like if you don't have 20 days to put in the work to get all that done, it's probably just not the right program for you. But so that's set up on a 20-day drip. But to give you a sense, you have a year. It's a year program. The reason why it's a year program is because I know that you can't do that in 20 days. You can do a first version of it, which is fantastic. Then you hit the ground running. You start getting customers. You realize, some of what I did in that first pass is not right? There's something that is the market's telling me they don't like what I put together, or my onboarding process stinks, or whatever it is. And it's meant to be, hey, continue to, circle back through that curriculum, ask me questions, all that type of stuff, so that we can continue to refine what you're doing. Okay. So that's the long drawn out answer to that. Let's see here. All right, let me go back up to here real quick I saw Bart said, yeah, you put it in circle, Bart. Love a quick view of the MSP funnel. Yeah, absolutely. And congrats, Bart, on getting that put together. So let me just go ahead and pull it up real quick. Give me a second. And I gave you some quick comments, but let me just, let me go through it here with you on the call, so that if you have any questions, we can address them, and everybody else will get the benefit of that as well. What's up, Bart? How are you, sir? Hey. Am I echoing on you? Oh, wait, you're on mute. Okay, cool. You can unmute yourself at any point you want to talk, but glad to have you here. Glad you're healthy and up and running and getting stuff done. So what I said in circle earlier is, first of all, I really love the whole flow thing. I think you did a really, really nice job with that. I love, I mean, you know me, anytime you can use some acronyms and have those acronyms make sense to what the business is and tie it all together, I think it's great. And I think it's a great job of communicating that as a signature system. So if I hit the page to get more info, and there's your scheduling pop-up. Let me just make sure I'm showing the right thing still. Yeah, cool. So then you can see what Bart has done is he's put together exclusive GMB texting available, double your dispatches without more ad costs. Our flow lead system will enable texting on your Google My Business listing and will double your service dispatches. Schedule a demo. And then you can see he's got this whole flow water damage lead system. I love that. Like I said, I think you've done a good job with these images. I love that you've created this visual of what the flow system is to communicate it. I think that's all really good, man. I think it's nice. I don't know about leading, like if I'm going to get nitpicky, which I don't really feel that there's a need to get nitpicky. I think that you've done a good job of like putting together the foundation here that you need to just get moving. If I'm going to get nitpicky, I don't know about this exclusive GMB texting. Like, to me, I don't know if your market understands that at all. And like, so leading with that, to me, I think is probably not your best lead versus just leading with this. Double your dispatches without more ad costs. Our Flow lead system will enable texting on your Google My Business listing and will double your services dispatch. Okay. Like, to me, that's a clear value prop that pretty much everybody in that business should understand. Versus this doesn't seem to. I mean, I think that this, with some explanation to it, maybe down here, makes more sense to be there. Right here, you've got a screenshot where it's an attorney. It's Dixon & Dixon Law Offices. I would get a screenshot, if you could, of somebody in the water damage business, just to make that a little more congruent. And then I mentioned, so in Circle, I mentioned the thing that I don't like right now is I don't have any navigation now here to navigate your site. So you've made this more like a true landing page, but I just came to it off of your site. And so it's a little bit confusing to me to be able to, if I want to be able to navigate around more, it's kind of like, okay, what just happened there? So I personally would make this more of like a normal site structure where I've got navigation up here and stuff, so I can continue to move around. I know, there's the theory of, well, if I put them onto this landing page with really only, the option of doing business with me, then I'm going to get them to do more business with me. But I don't think that that's really, that's not really how sales get done in this. Like, sales get done typically with more nurture and people, checking you out, seeing your stuff. So I would have this navigation on every page and just make it easy for people to get around. So those are the big things to me. I think, like I said, I think that you did a real nice job with, and again, so going to this one, so I clicked on the navigation that took me here. And then again, I'm back to a page with no navigation. I would just set this all up as just a normal website structure, where people can navigate around and get back to your stuff. Awesome. Thank you, Richard. Thanks for being here, man. So that's my most important feedback. I think, like, just making sure it's easy for someone to come here, navigate around, learn what they need to learn. You've got plenty of call to actions everywhere, right? So you're not going to just, if somebody wants to take action, they're going to be able to take action. You're not going to miss them. But I would make it nice and easy for them to navigate around. That's also going to help with your website in terms of ranking, or, just showing up, all that good stuff. So I would do those things. Otherwise, man, I love the Flow system. I love that the value proposition is super straightforward. So I would just clean up those things and just get the marketing, man. Get the marketing and get selling. So, but nice job getting it put together. And then if I go back to, actually, let me go back to, so let me just look at the service packages in more detail than I was able to here real quick. So I love that you've got your 3 packages. I love $197, $397, $997. I love the price points. When I look at these price points, what I would be thinking as the owner of these services, as somebody selling these services. So if I put myself in Bart's shoes, I would be thinking that these service plans are structured in a way to try and get the majority of my customers to sign up for that $397. Because there's a big price jump, $600 additional up to the next package. So that big price jump is going to make a lot of people go, oh, well, why do I really need to pay that much more money? Like, what am I getting from it? So this $397 to me, Bart, should be the package that, in terms of the features and benefits that you have in there, you're really optimizing for value proposition and stickiness to your customers, one, right? And then two, you should be really optimizing for margins as well. Okay, so that $397 package, you want to make sure that you've got like really nice margins in there, but you also want to make sure that you've packed that thing with enough benefits that the value prop to your customer. And that doesn't necessarily mean, by the way, let me just clarify that statement. That doesn't mean that you just have to have a big run-on list of stuff. I just mean that whatever is the core value that they're getting from that package should be like high impact and should be, very clear and sticky. Okay, so that could just mean just a handful of things. You get the flow funnel, you get our SMS system, and you get these campaigns. But those things work like magic, and that's that's 98% of the value prop of this whole thing. Awesome, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you just have to stack on a bunch of stuff just to make it look bigger. That's not what I'm saying. But so anyway, so that package though, you really want to be strategic about making sure that you got the right margins, all that stuff in there. And then this one, again, when it comes to the breakdown between the $397 and $997, since it's a $600 leap, I'm assuming you're doing something in here. So SEO ranking for service area. Okay, so it looks like, I'm assuming there's probably some more manual stuff in here that is adding a lot to your cost structure, and that's why the big leap here. And if that's the case, great. I love that you have a big leap in price. One, I love that hopefully most of your customers don't even buy it from you, because then you can do less manual work and just keep them down here on the $397 and keep them forever. That would be my hope for you looking at this plan structure. So it's awesome, man. I'm generally, like I said, I'm happy with it. And I think you just get out there and get selling and getting feedback from the marketplace and go, go, go. So nice work. Everybody give Bart a virtual high five. Nice work, man. Let's see here. I see a couple gentlemen waiting to jump on. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me just go through real quick and just make sure I'm not getting too far behind on some of these questions. Kurt says, hey, Mike, you got back into your office really quick from the last. Yeah, exactly. How do the Go High Level SaaS implement without all the tech? Can I just pay you or a member of the team? Not me. You can't pay me, Kurt. There are absolutely people that will do that for you in the high level community. I think I would post inside of our community and say, hey, who have you guys hired, for back end high level, setup and support that you think is the best, and get feedback that way. I think there's a couple of people that it seems like are really kind of the standouts now if you're looking for like a team to be able to work with. And then if you're looking for an individual to be able to work with, I probably post in the high level community itself in the Facebook group and ask that. The problem is, man, you're just going to get bombarded with spam, people trying to sell you. The other thing though is there's enough momentum around this now that you could post on Upwork, and you'll find somebody that can help you with high level there as well. It might be a little more professional, kind of approach that you'll be able to find somebody with there rather than getting spammed to death on Facebook. So those would be my recommendations, Kurt. George says, I'm on my 5th pass and almost got my process down. I love it, George. I love it. That's exactly right, though. That's exactly the right way to do it, guys, is circling back around. You should always just be learning, and spinning back around, right? Tennis Academy TV. I love this. Okay. Can you talk a little bit about salespeople? My friend wants to sell my high-level business as a side hustle. Should the commissions, or should I get him recurring commissions? Oh, should the commissions be one time? Okay. Should I front load the commissions or do recurring commissions? Awesome. Okay, so first of all, welcome. Good to see you here, Tennis Academy TV. I love that. I would recommend a combination of both, honestly. And the reason why I say that is because if you do the front end commissions, you're going to give them enough to like have something today to get them excited. And you got to give them enough. Like selling this stuff is not, so easy that they're just going to be signing on 50 new clients, every month, right? And so if they're only signing, let's say 4 or 5 or 7 or 8 or whatever, which by the way, look at HubSpot's commission plan, okay? To graduate from a normal salesperson to a senior salesperson, it's you're only required to sign up like 8 accounts a month. So don't bring anybody in expecting that, you're going to be signing on 30 clients a month, type of thing. You're setting yourself up for failure and them. So if you model based on them signing 4 or 5 accounts every month, okay? And let's say that they were signing on an average of $497 a month and you were paying them 25% commissions recurring. That's, and they signed up 4 in a month, that's only $497, right? So, I mean, if they have side income, right? And this is truly just like a side deal for them, and they're patient and they go, okay, well, that's $497 every month in recurring commissions. So I'm starting to stack up. Great. I can see by the end of the year, I've got myself, another 6-figure income going here as a side hustle. Awesome. If it's somebody though, that is trying to get paid today, like they don't have that economic base to be able to be patient like that, then working your tail off for 3 months, you build up your pipeline, you start closing some deals that first month, you get a couple of them, and you only got $250 in commission. That's pretty hard. Month 4, right? They're going to be like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to go flip burgers instead and make more money. And they're right. So you really need to front end in that case. So, but to get somebody to stick around and be like a good long-term contributor to your business, you want to leverage that recurring, because that keeps them like really hooked in. It gives them that sense of ownership. So I would try and do a combination of both. So they could even choose, right? You could say, hey, look, you want to have the ability to get some commissions up front. Awesome. We can give you upfront commissions. We can give you recurring commissions. So in a given month, let's say you sign up 5 deals and you want to take 3 of them up front to give you the cash that you need now. Great. And take, 2 of them recurring so that you're starting to earn something longer term. Okay. So that would be my recommendation for you. Okay. David says, hi, can I use the Arrow Freedom Formula for any niche? Yes, absolutely. Like spiritual niche and Reiki healing? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Those are like huge, massive markets. Absolutely, David. Yes. Go crazy with that model in those markets. Let's see here. Brian says, is Go HighLevel's 250 setup fee worth it, or does setting up all your systems better? For me personally, the 250 is absolutely worth it, because I don't know how to do some of the tech stuff involved with setting up. Like, if anybody asked me to like go in and do something with DNS or anything like that type of stuff to me is like, oh man, I don't mess with any of that. I can use tools like nobody's business. You know what I mean? Like once I'm inside the HighLevel software, I can use the heck out of it. But some of that more technical stuff, I just never even touch. And so I always just pay for somebody to help me with those things. So I think it's money well spent, personally. And actually I should say that, Brian, I don't even know 100% what they do in that setup process. So to me though, $250 to have any sort of help with getting this moving is good, just to be able to get like a little more committed opportunity to ask questions, get them to, give you a little bit more personal touch, that type of thing. I think it's generally good. Anything that's going to speed you up is good. Okay. Cool. Richard says, Kurt, I see you inside the DM Leverage Circle group. I can help you out. That's awesome. Thank you, Richard. All right, cool. Howard, my man. How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Good. Good to see you.
Okay, so I was running some ads for this roofing client, and I put I put up a generic roofing pros page just so I don't have to, get permission and all that stuff. I'm
Yep.
running it from my own account. So Facebook said, "Oh, they rejected the ads," and first I thought it was the ads, but then it says, "No, you can't run ads from this page. They want me to confirm my identity." Blah blah blah. Okay,
Yep.
so first I wanted to just run the ad by you, just see what you thought,
Yeah.
and also I set up. I'm doing as part of the service. I'm doing live transfer, qualified live call transfers. So I was digging into your snapshots,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really hard to see what goes with what. Um, so it really made us more complicated. I just said, okay, I'm just going to start from scratch. Okay, I got to do this. I got to add a tag. I got to add an opportunity, and then just constructed it myself from scratch.
Yep.
And it's working, except the Facebook ad is not making the connection when I do the Facebook test lead form tool,
Okay.
and it's not it's not syncing, even though I was able to sync the page with my with the tool
Mm.
and go HighLevel. So which may be more of a tech issue that maybe not appropriate for here, but let me run the ads by you first, and then we'll look at the
Cool. Are
automation.
you gonna share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And which snapshot are you referring to that you're saying it's hard to see what goes with
I
what?
just went through a bunch of appointment booking snapshots, and it was just it was hard to see what went with what. And by the time I was done, I just said, I'm just going to just construct it one step at a time, and then just get it done. So that's
Cool.
what I did. All right. So here's I went to Ad Library and researched the roofers ads and looked at ones that were long running, like at least 2-3 months.
Yep.
And I would say 80% of those ads were the actual roofers themselves standing in front of the truck or in front of one of their jobs, or standing on the roof, or that kind of thing. More
Mm-hmm.
of the authenticity play.
Mm-hmm.
So but there were a few that, and I'm not getting paid enough to do a fancy video, and it's just the beginning of the relationship, so I don't want to impose on them to do a video. So I
Mm-hmm.
just did an image ad, and I did some of this text. A lot of the text that was really working, in terms of the offer, they didn't really have a killer offer, and I sort of pushed them to do financing, because if they're not doing financing, then it's got to be a repair, and insurance has to cover it.
Yep.
So I pushed them. They're going to get the financing going, so I included that. So basically, problem, attention, problem, and then a little bit, giving us some
Yeah.
props
Some
here.
credibility. Mm-hmm.
Okay, hook you up with financing, blah blah blah. Fill out the form. Okay, and this is the ad one. I'm just doing two ads. So their offer is a free inspection and a estimate. Boring, but it is. That's all they were willing to do. They weren't willing to do $1,000 off, or any free gutters. They just, this is their quote, doing a test. So
Yep.
so that's what I did with that one. And same copy on this one, just a different graphic. Um, on this one.
Cool.
All right.
I I mean, I think they both look perfectly fine to me. When you look at the market, as you said, for roofing ads, what is the pitch that most are making? I mean, if it's not, I mean, is it free inspection and estimate, or what is?
That was part of it. Some of it was storms, and that's this is in Jacksonville, so it's not like Texas where they get a lot of hail. They do get some in Jacksonville, but it's, I don't want, that's fine if a storm just happened, but if there's no storm happening, I don't want to be advertising that.
Yeah.
So, $0 down was a big one, which is a financing thing. But I don't know what their deal is, so I didn't want to do that. Saving thousands is fine. Testimonials, the testimonials they have are about water restoration or construction. They're not about roofs. So we don't have any video testimonials to use in here. Lifetime warranty, family owned, $400 off a re-roof. That was basically, those were basically the offers.
Cool. Okay. So let me give my 2 cents. So to me, I think that these ads look great. No problem at all. I would test like, I don't know, maybe the fire emojis. I might try something other than fire emojis. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say that is just because I don't know that flames in the house and stuff like that are like those are the things that mentally I want to go together. But
Yeah.
that's just me getting real nitpicky.
Yeah.
So I think I will give my 2 cents worth on this market, and the reason why I think what I'm about to say is important because I think it impacts probably how you pitch your services and think about your services. So as a homeowner who's paid to have my roof replaced, I have had 2 scenarios. One scenario, there was damage. I had storm damage and it was immediate. And it was like, oh shoot, got to get my roof repaired right away. And then there was my roof is just getting old and I've got to replace it. But I have very little urgency around it. So I'm going to do more, investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the situation of how I got my roof repaired when there was damage, it was that there was immediately advertisers, people canvassing, dropping off postcards, all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was also very largely driven by my insurance company and who they, what parameters they said, we work with these companies in your area, that type of thing. Right.
Yeah.
So if I were you and I were committed to this market, I would just make sure that I always had storm related ads ready to go. Not that you'd be running them all the time, but when there's a storm that comes through, boom, hey, we turn those on real quick and we run them for the next 30 days, whatever it is, right?
Right.
So they're just ready to go automatically. So I would just have those developed and just, have them in my toolkit.
Right.
And then when it comes to then the other scenario, right, which is not the emergency-based scenario, I think it really is much more of a like a B2B sales life cycle situation. Just like to me, if you're marketing your agency services, the best way to market your agency services is to be thinking about it long term and to think about I've just got to be staying in front of these people all the time. I am not expecting that I'm going to run an ad to any small business where all of a sudden they're just going to jump out of their seat and sign up for my agency services. It's typically that, and there are businesses that will do that, but that's the small percentage at the very bottom of the funnel. The far majority of them are going to be a longer term nurture, and I've just got to stay in front of them. Right. And I think that that's the same thing with this. So to me, I look at this ad and I go, this is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine for one of the many layers of this long-term nurture, which is one of these layers. There is somebody, there's a whole bunch of homeowners right now going, yeah, shit, it's been, how long has it been since we had our roof? And I just saw this ad, and I probably need to be, figuring that out, but there's not urgency.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm going to click on this ad, I may or may not opt in right now, whatever. But then what I would be doing is retargeting the heck out of these people, again, just on a nurture sequence for eternity, and just staying in front of them with a variety of different creatives, a variety of different messages. Why do you want to proactively repair your roof before it feels like you may need to? Because these are the concerns, like educational based marketing, all that good stuff. I would just be staying in front of them. This reminds me of when I was living back in Boston, a company that I worked with very closely, which was just this amazing story, was Gem Plumbing, a plumbing company in Rhode Island, who I knew the son who took over the business from his family. His family had built it to a $6 million a year business over the course of like 40 years. Okay, so it was a great family business, $6 million bucks. The son took it over and grew it from 6 million to 100 million in like 3.5 years. I mean, just crazy growth. And the way that he did it was he was just like, man, my damn jingle for Gem Plumbing will be on the radio 24/7 everywhere in this stinking market. You will never, ever, ever think of another plumber again. I don't know when you're going to need a plumber, but damn it, when you need a plumber, you will have heard my radio jingle 10,000 times. So you will call Gem Plumbing. And so he understood the metrics of his business was, hey, the economics work out that I don't know if you're going to need a plumber today or you're going to need it 6 months from now, but sometime from now you're going to need a plumber. And the economics of me running my jingle in the market just constantly, I'm going to win. And that's the way I think about the roofing business. You have a bazillion homeowners. They all are going to need a new roof at some point. The economics of getting a new roof work out well for the roofing company, as you've explained to me. Like the ones who are doing well are like doing really well. I would just have these ads retargeting homeowners constantly with a variety of creatives, staying in front of them. And for your clients that are willing to, right, that you like you said, show some personality, get a little bit creative in terms of the approach of the messaging and all that type of stuff, so that they stand out, because right now this is a perfectly fine ad, but it does look like, looks like, okay, looks like an
ad,
a stock photo roofer ad, versus if in the next ad now in retargeting, it's a video and it's, hey, this is Mike with, Super Duper Roofers, and I'm standing up on top of the roof here, and I just want to let you know, a lot of you have this right now, and you don't even know it, but take a look at these roofing shingles right here, and you can see when I bend down and pull it up, it breaks off right in my hand. It looks perfectly fine from the curb, but what this is about to do is cause water damage on this house that is a lot more expensive than getting a new roof. Like just quick little video things like that, and I would have them retargeting just constantly. So I say all that because my expectation is if you run this ad in your market right now, it's going to get whatever results it's going to get, which, like I said, I think it looks like a perfectly fine ad. It's just that with your customers' expectations, if their expectation is I'm going to run this ad and all of a sudden we're going to get a flood of business, it's unlikely, right? And especially if other roofing companies are out there running similar ads, as you're saying, what's going to get them a flood of business is being consistently in the market for a period of time and putting that message out there over and over and over again in a variety of ways, so that when it's time for me to get going, I'm thinking about how do I get, I mean, I'm thinking about a brand I'm already familiar with to get my roof fixed.
Yeah.
So that all being said, since you are running this from your account as Roofing Pros, and I saw a comment from Tim saying, hey, Howard, Facebook is cracking down on what they call umbrella ad accounts. That's good to know. If you are running it from Roofing Pros like that, and you're running it for a variety of accounts and you're going to, peel off these leads, I would personally, Howard, take the same approach. Tim, I would take the same approach, Howard, that I would be recommending for the customer. So if I'm putting myself in your shoes, Howard, and I'm thinking about how do I grow myself up to be the leading lead generation and marketing services provider for roofers in this market, I would set up Roofing Pros as an actual, we look like a roofing company brand, and I would be running those commercials. I would be Mike Cooch out on the roof. Hey, it's Mike with Roofing Pros, and I don't know shit about, fixing a roof, but I would leave that part out. But it would be, hey, I would take control of all of this rather than trying to get my customers to record these videos and stuff. It would be, hey, it's Mike with Roofing Pros. I'm out here on this roof right now. And look, this shingle breaks off right in my hand. What does that tell you? It tells you, blah, blah, blah. I would do all that. I would take 100% ownership of it. And I would build that Roofing Pros brand that you're starting so that it's the machine generating the leads and stuff. And I would be distributing those leads out to my customers. I would not, I would personally not be going around and trying to convince every roofer to do this. And this is something I've taken very, very serious consideration. I have almost jumped both feet into the home services business several times now in my career for this exact reason. They're generally all terrible marketers. And I saw what Gem Plumbing did. Gem Plumbing grew a crazy, awesome business in their community very fast because they were marketers. They were also great at the operations and stuff like that as well, but they were marketers. But there are so many home services that I can offer where I don't need to be the delivery guy. So like home cleaning, Mary Maids, all that type of stuff. I could start a home cleaning brand today here in San Diego and not do any of the fulfillment. I can outsource all of the fulfillment. I can partner just like I did at Everon, right? I did Everon, my IT services company, by having competitors in the local markets actually go out and do the IT services for me when my customers needed on-site work. So I would, if I were you, Howard, again, this would be my approach. I would create this awesome marketing presence. I would run the ads, create the videos, everything that needs to be done. And then I would go to the roofing companies in your market and say, hey, look, we're building this awesome front-end marketing engine, but I don't do roof repair. So I want to partner up with you guys. I'll give you guys the leads. You guys do the roofing repair. I'll just be generating you new leads and new customers all day long, every day. That's the approach that I would take to it, because I think that this needs then more to follow up with. It needs this ad. It needs the why you need to invest in a new roof proactively ad. It needs the new roof estimator, cost estimator ad. It needs the, testimonials. It needs the, all that stuff, just retargeting over a period of time. I would just set up that whole machine and run it myself. That's me personally. And then you're out of the umbrella ad thing as well, right? You're not an umbrella ad Facebook. You're Roofing Pros. It's Howard Roofing. That's what Facebook wants to see. Hey, are you really Roofing Pros, or is this something you're just setting up to generate, leads? Like, that's what Facebook is trying to determine. Like, are you really Roofing Pros? So ideally, you're really Roofing Pros, and you're running all this. That would be my recommendation. Is that you treat it that way, you think of it that way. Because I think that this is one ad in 100 that I would be running.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the client, they definitely want ads, leads is ASAP. So, the reason I switched to Facebook, instead I was going to do Google, but they want to start with $1,000 test budget, and the clicks are 15 to $20. I mean, that's going to get them like a call every 2-3 days.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be enough. And I figured, well, Facebook, maybe I'll get more volume out of it, but less qualified. So I went with Facebook. Now I don't want to, if I switch to Google, they already know the ads were rejected. I don't know. They said they got an email from Facebook. I don't know how they, unless they reverse engineered the email address from the credit card that I used, their credit card, because I don't have their URL or their phone number or their email address anywhere on the ad. So I'm thinking that's the only way they could have gotten it was through the credit card info.
Huh.
So I don't want to appear that I'm jumping around, because that looks like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm committed to Facebook at this point, and if it flops, it flops. But I got to go with what I got to go with at now, because now I'm in too deep. So, but I agree with and that was my consideration, but it was the volume issue. That's why I went with Facebook. I wanted to get more clicks.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't have any problem with running Facebook ads. And I think you'll get that sorted out, like to be able to run the ads and all that type of stuff. I don't think that's the issue. I think what Tim is saying is absolutely right. Again, like if you're thinking long-term about the market,
yeah,
then understanding the different roles that the different ads play and all that good stuff. I would be, again, personally, I would just be thinking about that. Okay, what's the long-term strategy? And long-term strategy to me is, you build the asset and run this sucker the way it should be run, and just kind of take ownership of that and then sell the leads, right?
Yeah, that's what Dan Wardrope's approach is: build a brand, filter out the locations as you go.
Yeah.
Using software and selling the leads.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, like the guy that I have, I've always loved this guy. Hold on here. Let me see if I can find him. But it's the law offices of James T. Sokolov. This is the guy that, turned me on to this. I don't even know if he's still in business or not, but he, he was a massive advertiser in the legal space forever. And he was just running ads all over. I was in Boston when I first heard him, but it turns out he was running ads all over the country, which is just a demonstration of the model. And he was just running these legal ads, and then he would just farm out all of the legal services to his partner law firms in any market, because he knew that they were bad marketers and he was a good marketer. And so he seemed to be making a fortune doing it. But I think that's the long-term play. I think, you'll get this ad running. I'm sure you'll figure something out with Facebook. And then I do think that Facebook ads in this market absolutely have a role for sure. You get getting that, as Tim said, that awareness and the nurturing for sure. So yeah, we'll keep us posted.
Okay.
But I think that the ads look good. They look good. The copy's good. All that good stuff. It makes sense to me.
All right. And you want to just take a couple of minutes? I know real quick. I don't want to take too much more of your time. If I go to my my HighLevel thing here, This is the account, the company account. If I go to
Yep.
Launchpad, I would have to, if I'm using their page,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to connect with their Facebook account, correct?
Correct. Which means
So
that, yeah, so you'd want to be running the funnel through here as well, because that's how you're going to make the Facebook API trigger the leads and stuff, right?
all right.
So
Well, I don't know how, if I'm connecting, if I change page and I select which Facebook page, connect page, it's gonna how would I get to their Facebook account? I'd have to do that somehow, right?
yeah, you're talking about their Facebook ad account.
No, if I'm just going to run it from their page, I could be like an advertiser on the page, and still run the ads from my account. But
I don't think that will work to give you this integration benefit that you're looking for here.
oh, really?
Nah, I don't think that'll work. I think it will have to be, yeah, I don't, somebody on this call probably knows this better than I do, but
All right, let's.
I'm trying to think through here. I've got
All right,
the,
well, let's just go to my next question.
yeah.
Okay, Facebook ad input,
Mm-hmm.
lead form submitted. New roof is the lead form.
Mm-hmm.
This is the custom question. I ask if they're roof replacement or roof repair. Is this proper to have it set like this? Or is this unnecessary? It'll just bring in that information anyway.
I think that that's unnecessary.
Yeah, I think maybe too, but
probably my guess is that could cause problems. I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
I wouldn't have it in there.
All right. So then the next thing, this worked, internal notification, tag worked, create opportunity worked, wait, and then SMS. I had an SMS to the contact. That worked, and I had it. I had a wait on there to only go like 7 a.m. to 7 p. Okay, so that, unless it was, during those hours, then it was just only wait 2 minutes. And then I had it wait 3 hours if they didn't reply, because I'm only going to follow up on replies. If they didn't reply, then I waited 3 hours. And then if they didn't reply, I sent in a text saying, hey, you didn't reply, blah, blah, you still interested. And then another wait. And if they didn't reply to that, then I add a tag that they didn't, no reply, and then just add that to that and label the opportunity. If they did reply, I created the opportunity, and then added the tag that they replied. Then I manually take over and call them.
Okay, cool.
So that's all I needed. I just figured it out as I went.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, I agree with, so just so you know, Howard, and this is why I have always taken the approach of, hey, you guys should learn how I set up workflows instead of trying to just grab my workflows and use them. I think that, and that's not the quote, this one right here. It's hard using other people's snapshot. I've had several and deleted them or rebuilt them. Yes. And this is why I think most people's obsession with, like you see in the high level groups, like who's got the awesome snapshot I can buy for such and such industry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's not the answer. The answer is you've got to build snapshots. So I try to keep my snapshot, my workflows and my snapshots as modular as possible and as simple as possible, because in 99% of scenarios, what you have to do is you have to go in there and customize stuff yourself. Otherwise, it's just not going to work the way that you want it to work. But I think that, but I know that in some of my snapshots in particular, it's old stuff, because I haven't been able to go back through and transfer them completely to workflows and stuff like that. So I would just make sure you're working from my R4 snapshot, my workflow snapshot, because those are the most current things, rather than some of the older ones that are still like triggers based and all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's never plug and play. That's what we think it's going to be.
Yeah,
But it's not really.
it never is.
By the time I tried to figure out what parts and pieces of your stuff I could use, I just figure out I just might as well just do it myself and just do it.
Yep.
You know,
and I think that that's good.
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But I, you know, and that's why, like I said, what you can end up doing, like I've done for myself, right, is I have my workflows that are now set up for my scenarios, that it's now easy for me to just do a copy and paste at my own business, right, between you know, workflow to workflow. But that's because I get in there and dig in and set them up. Exactly. So cool. All right.
Okay, that's
Good stuff. Keep me posted.
Yeah, thanks everybody for the feedback too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. I see a couple of, let's see here. Kamal says, I could be wrong, but in other videos on your channel, you mentioned that there are website templates for small businesses that we can offer in the R4. No, that is not correct, Kamal. I don't have any website templates for small businesses in there. You can get website templates that are in HighLevel. HighLevel has website templates for you for certain industries already pre-made inside of HighLevel available for you. And then you can certainly get more of those from HighLevel and in the community. Yeah, I see you, Glenn. Hang on one second. So you can get those that way. I don't have them for you. What I do say, Kamal, is that you can take for most industries, you can take the structures that I've created in HighLevel for the R4 workflows and stuff, and use those as a starting point to create a really nice, sales and marketing process for most businesses. So again, what Howard and I were just talking about is you can't expect that they're just going to be plug and play, but they can give you a nice foundation to start from so that you're not starting from scratch. Okay. So any industry where there's going to be appointment booking, sales meeting booking, follow-up related to those, people filling out lead forms, that type of thing, you can use the R4 as the foundation to create their sales process with not a ton of customization. There's still going to be customization, but at least, like I said, you're not starting from scratch. Now, what you may find is, like in Howard's case, he goes, after going in there and playing with it, I ended up just starting from scratch. Honestly, I think that that's good. I think that all of you need to get to the point, if you're going to be basing your business on HighLevel and providing services based on HighLevel, that you should all be at the point where you can just get in and create workflows and stuff from scratch without that being like something that you consider stressful, right? I mean, I create workflows in HighLevel from scratch all the time. So, and I don't look at that as stressful. I look at that as, this is awesome. It's like a superpower to be able to go in there and create those. So, ultimately that's what I want all of you guys to get to is, I mean, what I do think is my training that I've provided on how to think through workflows and organize them and connect them together. That's the stuff that I think is super valuable, because that's how you really can make the most out of the system, is not trying to just grab somebody else's thing and plug it in. It's to be able to understand how to, put all this stuff together. Bart says, I eat workflows for breakfast. I love it. You mentioned a book you wrote based on R4. Can I get a license? Yeah, Jose, you just get the R4 sales system and it's in there. And then you're all good. We sell a website starting at $1,200 one time, $40 per month. I like the 97 a month idea, but it's kind of tough to wrap our head around that price point. Thoughts? Are you saying, so 97, like compared to the $49 a month, you're wondering like, how can I justify that? Is that what you're saying? The way that I justify that is either you don't charge the $1,200 up front, right? And so it's kind of a financing thing. Like, hey, look, you're not paying any upfront costs. It's $97 a month. Is $97 a month more than you would pay if you just got good old hosting? Maybe, but you're getting great hosting and you're not having to pay for a website up front. So that makes it easy to justify the 97. But let's say you still wanted to charge the $1,200 upfront and the 97. I would just make it, like what I call like the super hosting. So it's not just hosting, but it's other things like, I would put the missed call text back, the web chat, lead capture forms, the conversations capability of HighLevel, right? So essentially you're giving them access to the first like 10 or 15% of HighLevel as part of that. And so it's not just, the pitch is, hey, it's not just going to be a brochure online. We're making this into a marketing system. And that's why you're paying this 97 a month. Okay. And you're saying you wish to take the 97 off? Oh, it's the instant profit mindset. Yeah, I get that. I mean, maybe do a combination, do 500 up front and 97 a month. Do something like that. But I think, the 97 a month is really what you want long-term, right? And so here's the deal, Kamal. If you can switch your mindset. So here's how you switch your mindset, right? Right now you're getting 1,200 up front, but 47 a month. Okay. That 1,200 up front is slowing down a lot of sales. There's a lot of customers out there that would buy from you if it wasn't for the 1,200 up front, that will now buy from you at just the 97 straight away. And so when you consider you're getting more on a monthly basis now, plus you're going to be getting more customers that sign up. If you can just look past that initial 1,200 for a little bit, you're going to be stacking up considerably more money very quickly. I mean, it only takes, 10 customers at 97 a month, right? And you're already up to that $1,200, one time, but on a monthly basis. So it just doesn't take a lot. Setup fee, I think small upfront should work. Yeah, awesome. I like that. All right, Glenn, waiting patiently back here. What's up, my man?
Dude, what's happening?
How are you?
Good. Two questions.
Yeah.
So I may have found my fulfillment partners. Like that's what I've been working on, really. I have social media covered. I have some pieces covered. I'm looking really to make a good relationship with somebody on the GHL piece of it. All right.
Yep.
So just your thoughts on like what kind of revenue share, should I be thinking about, or any ideas on, how to structure that arrangement,
I wouldn't be, I personally wouldn't be doing any of that. I would just be paying them.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. I would just be paying them as a service provider. So when you say that you found, so you're talking like a business partner, like?
Well, I'm talking about like basically set it up where when someone sends a support ticket in, it goes to them directly. They're like, I'm doing the sales in the front face. It's my customer that I'm billing them. I'm generating that. The money comes to me, but I'm looking like to form a strategic partnership with someone on the back end that has skin in the game. Like, because I want them to service that customer,
But is this somebody that's already in the business of providing HighLevel services, or are you talking about this?
They do, yeah, they do stuff now. Yes.
I would just pay them.
Okay.
I would not monkey around with any. Let me share two rants on this real quick, Glenn.
Okay.
There are way too many people out there in the world pitching to you guys these whole revenue share, opportunities and nothing up front because I can get 1,000 salespeople working for me because they're all commission free. I mean, because they're 100% commission. There's so much BS out there. Okay, I have had 100% commission sales teams. There is so much freaking work involved in that. There is so much freaking training, nurturing, all that type of stuff. It's a huge investment of your time, energy, and money to have free salespeople. So, if you are getting somebody set up in a 100% commission scenario, the only model that I've seen that really work is if you're selling something that's super high dollar. So like commercial real estate, as an example, those people are oftentimes just 100% commission, just like any real estate, right? It's like 100% commission, but that's because they can get a $30,000 to, in the commercial space, several $100,000 commission check when they sell a property. Great. So that works. Or it's got to be somebody that's already in the business, that there is almost no incremental work, essentially an affiliate, right? So I can be an affiliate and generate revenue and be 100% commission salesperson for people like HighLevel and all that stuff because I'm already in the business. I've already got the customer base. I'm already sending you guys emails. I'm already creating content for you. So it makes sense to me, right? But if you're bringing somebody in, like in some sort of model where it's, we're going to be business partners and you're going to be relying on me to go out and get business, and then I'm going to give you a percentage of that business and stuff like that. It is so rare that works, that it is very, very hard to pull off. Just pay them.
So the thing that makes it, the reason why I was thinking in that mindset was because I have a situation in my world where I'm going to have like APIs and things into like DMS systems, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I need people like to support that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how to structure, like, I don't want to, I can't like have, I mean, I've talked to IT guys and they'll charge me by the hour and, stuff like that. But again, like they don't have any skin in the game at that point, right? So if an API is down, it's like, I want the support ticket to go right to whoever that partner would be and go, fix this, this has to get fixed. So I'm not talking about necessarily like the fulfillment on the, like, social media, newsletter, and the marketing stuff. I have that covered by paying people, but I'm talking about more of the the tech, the tech piece of it, basically.
I would just be paying somebody. Again, Glenn,
Okay.
So when you say I want somebody with skin in the game, you want somebody that it is their business to provide tech support for when DNS and stuff goes down. Like, I mean, that's what I did for a living at Everon. And if a customer called me and they were paying our rates, then we jumped and we fixed their DNS. Is what we do for a living. So
right, but to jump on a call, like if I'm talking to a vendor, right, and we got to jump on a call with their tech guy, and like those things are going to happen, as these APIs get built out and created. I mean, okay, interesting. All right, I was thinking. Right.
I would just have somebody that is their job, that is their business to provide those services, and I would just pay them.
And just pay them hourly, just whatever they.
I mean, how you pay them exactly it should be up to their model. What I would try and do is find somebody that is in that business. They have a model that's working for them, and don't goof with their model at all. Don't try and get creative. Just go, hey, how much is it? Okay, great, 100 and whatever an hour. And when I call, it's treated like an emergency for these situations, and you guys jump. Yep. Awesome. And then for routine stuff, you do this, and it's a ticket-based system, and that's much cheaper per hour because it's not an emergency. Yep. Awesome. Great. Like, okay. Try not to monkey around with anybody's model, because now you're a pain in the neck. and look, and somebody, Patrick says, shout out to rarely works, right? And yes, it rarely works. Are there scenarios where it works? So at Everon, remember, Glenn, I had partners that I outsourced to and paid,
right.
Blah, 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 right? So in some ways, I'm telling you completely opposite advice than what I have done in the past. But here's the deal. I was really freaking good at sales and marketing. And so I was literally got to the point where I was driving $100,000 plus a month to my partners in a market. And so when you're spending 100 grand with them, they pay attention, and you can start expecting some custom stuff, right? But when I got started with them, my agreement was literally, hey, Glenn, you guys seem really good at your job. What are your rates? Awesome. Good. Okay. Look, I'm going to start selling in this market. I would really love to have a really awesome partner like you guys that I can depend on and build business with long-term and all that type of stuff. What are your rates? Oh, it's, X dollars an hour. Awesome. Look, can I set up an agreement with you where I'm going to pay you your rates anytime I need customer work? I just need you to treat me like a good high priority customer. And my goal is to start driving a ton of business to you. And they're like, yeah. And they're totally skeptical at first, but it doesn't matter because I'm just paying them. So yeah, sure. You're paying us. You're just like any other customer. You're paying us. It's kind of weird that you're our competitor and you're paying us, but okay. And then when they saw I was serious and I started driving work, then I go back and I sit down with them and I go, hey guys, look, I'm going to keep on growing this market. You can see I'm legitimate now. I'm not goofing around here. I'm generating a lot of business for you. I'm expecting I'm going to triple that in the next year. I need to have an even closer relationship with you, and I need to have a little bit different economics to make this work so that I can continue driving you as much business as possible. So here's what we got to do. So then we start talking custom, but they know I'm legitimate at that point. So we can get that longer term partnership. So if you get to the point where, man, I'm spending a bunch of money with these guys every month because I drive them a lot of support business, well, then you can sit down with them and go, hey, look, guys, I've got to be one of your biggest customers now. Here's what I'd love. I'd love this arrangement to be treated like your biggest customer. Then you can go back and do that stuff. That makes sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Again, and I was going down the other road in my mind because I just foresaw a lot of like upfront, like consulting stuff having to happen. It's not like, for me to get to where I want to get to, we've got to talk about, well, what's the best way to do this process? How do we get the data from their DMS into here and trigger this action or whatever it's that we're going to do? So there's going to be a lot of that type of consulting and conversations, especially early on, till we get APIs built for the major vendors that we're going to be connecting to,
Yeah. Yeah. You may just have to pay for that, honestly.
Oh, I hate that.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you don't like the answer, but
I'm bootstrapping everything. The reality of it is I don't have. I'm cash flow sucky here. It's like
totally get it.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: if you come in and you come and say to me, hey, Mike, I'm interested in all this. What I need you to do is I just need you to do all this consulting for free to set up this thing to really understand it, and then I'll start paying you. Then I'll go, hey, awesome, Glenn. How many customers are you going to start driving me month one? And if you don't have a real good answer on that, I'm going to go, yeah, my hourly rates are $150 an hour. I'm glad to do all that stuff for you. And if I'm smart, right, and I think that you're legitimate, I'll go, hey, Glenn, look, my hourly rates are $150 an hour. I'll do it for $125. And in the spirit of showing you I'm interested in this long term, if you drive at least X dollars of business to me in the first 3 months, I'll eat that upfront setup. I'll refund that money to you.
Right.
So if I was somebody strategic on the other side of that, but if you just came to me and said, hey, do all this work and I'm not going to pay you and you can't demonstrate to me you got a bunch of customers ready to come, I'm going to say, yeah, pay me.
Yeah, I mean, in my model, I mean, I've got my pricing based on my packages and stuff set up where, like, it could be $4,000, $5,000 a client, at least, a customer at least. Well, it depends if they're multi-location stuff, but so I mean, there's plenty of revenue, right, that I can spend, but I don't have the money to spend up front. That's the issue. Is I don't mind doing the rev share only because I can afford to do that.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Well, you can afford to do it because you're offloading some of that risk to your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a partner, I would just go, well, Glenn, why can't you afford to do it? And then your answer is because I'm not generating enough customers yet. And I would go, but my whole arrangement in this is dependent on you generating customers. So I would have a problem with the risk, right? And I do this all the time, Glenn, still to this day, because with their San Diego, I have all kinds of vendors that I put into these partnership arrangements. I do this all the time in the local market. Hey, you create very good Instagram reels. I'd love for you to create Instagram reels and give them to us for free. And they're going, huh? And I go, but look, I get it. I sound like a crook right now. I'm going to pay you for the first 5. So you know I'm not a crook. And then let me explain to you how this works long-term so that it's good for you and it's good for me. We both win. And then they go, oh, okay, but you're going to pay me for the first 5? And I go, yeah, I'm going to pay you for the first 5. I'm not a joker. I'll pay you for the first 5. And then they're like, oh, okay. Hey, man, you're paying me. Cool. And then, then they can listen, right? Now I'm making it a situation where the risk is tolerable, right? So
yeah.
I think if you don't just pay them, you're going to end up where 3 months from now, you're still trying to find this partner and it's going to be a mess.
Well, in the conversation I had with this particular guy, because he's got a lot of business, and it's like my money isn't going to make that much of a difference in his life. But the reality is, everybody wants more business, right? So I mean, he was like, he's actually mentioned maybe it makes sense to do some kind of a strategic alliance kind of situation, and do that.
And so on those upfront costs, Glenn, I mean, if he's somebody you think could do business with you long term and you think he has the resources to do it right and all that stuff, I would just have a very direct conversation with him. Yeah. And say, hey, look, I love the idea of giving you all this work long term. Honestly, those upfront costs right now are sketchy to me. If that's something that you have the ability to use your team to figure out the package that's going to work on how to integrate these customers, and you can do that on your own dime. Here's what I'll do is I'll guarantee you every new customer that I sign over the next 2 years comes to you, right? Like I won't farm this out to anybody else so that you can at least know that I'm committed to you. Try something like that.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to think
about it. Think about it. Keep me posted. I got to answer a couple more questions before I go here.
See you, man.
Thanks, Glenn. All right, so Dreaming Soccer says, in your opinion, do you think I should specialize my agency or go general? Are you specialized in one niche? Okay, this is a very, very common question. And so let me give you the fast answer to this, and I'm happy to spend more time on it, like in our groups or something like that if you want, okay? So the answer is you either are going to have what I call a vertical niche or a functional niche. A vertical or industry niche is we do X for chiropractors, we do X for home builders. And in those cases, you need to be focused on that niche because everything, the service delivery, the marketing on how you get them, how you're going to present yourself as a leader in being able to help them, it all needs to be about them, okay? Versus if you're going to do a functional niche. So a functional niche, as an example, is we edit videos. Video editing stinks. It's time consuming. You don't have the right tools. You don't have the talent to do it. We edit videos. Okay. You can do that across, every, tons of different niches, maybe not everyone, but tons of them. Right. So that's a functional niche. And so you can do that more broadly. Okay. You got to pick one or the other. They can also be combined. So you could do we edit videos for gurus. You're a coach, you're a whatever, like we specialize in videos for you. So if there's a particular niche where they invest a ton in that function is super important to them. So we edit videos for YouTubers, right? YouTubers are super specific about how they need their videos edited and, yada, yada. So we do it for YouTubers versus just generally anybody who needs a video edited. So you can combine those, but it's generally one or the other. Okay. So I hope that helps you. And like I said, if you start putting out some specific examples of, hey, I'm thinking about this versus that, I can, answer it more directly. Kamal says, can we speak in detail on the influencer campaigns that you mentioned under Reach Services for R4? Do we hire them for our clients, price point, et cetera? Yeah. So yeah, Kamal. So this is actually a very popular service model right now, is that PR firms and stuff like that do influencer campaigns for their clients. And so the reason why that it's very popular as a service is because if you invest the time, so if I invest the time here in San Diego to get to know all the influencers and have relationships with them, and just like we were talking about earlier with Glenn, I'm bringing them revenue consistently. I have much more sway with them. It's very easy for me to get a new campaign going, all that type of stuff. Versus if you're a restaurant, an individual restaurant, trying to get something going with all those influencers, you've got to recruit them all yourself. You've got to be able to pay them enough consistently for them to even pay attention to you and care, like otherwise they're just going to go off and do their own thing, right? So there's a lot of kind of back end and consistent work that goes to doing that. So yes, if you are going to be doing influencer campaigns, it's a great service. And what I would just recommend, as with anything with services that scale, is that you've got to be focused. So if you are the influencer, if you are the restaurant marketing firm in San Diego, then you build up your influencer base there in San Diego so that you can turn and burn these campaigns quickly, efficiently, at the right price points, all that good stuff. Pricing for that. So there's what you're going to have to pay for the influencer, and then there's what you're going to charge your customer. What you're going to pay the influencer is very, very dependent on the market that you're doing this in. And there's all kinds of online places that you can go and find benchmarks for how much influencers are charging. So I would recommend that you start there. If you have specific scenarios that you want to ask about in one of my groups or something here in the future, or on these calls in the future, I'm happy to try and give you some more specifics. Okay. EJ says, Mike, can you do home services like the demand force model? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, demand force, where you're saying like you set up the tools for them and help them with appointments and appointment follow-up and all that type of stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, totally. David Michael says, are we able to set up the white label SaaS platform under a couple of different brand identities that are niche focused, such as one for construction, one for restaurants, for example? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could set up as many front ends of your business as you wanted to, for sure. So I highly advise that you are, as we've just talked about here in the last couple of conversations, that you are very selective and strategic about how you're going about this, though, because unless you already have a real presence in those different markets, if you're telling me you're about to start from scratch and you're going to target a bunch of different industries, I think you are setting yourself up for a fall. So focus has real benefits. Okay. Awesome. All right. I got to wrap up, everybody. We've been here for 2 hours. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you for being here. Happy Friday. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your time and attention to your business as always. Would love to see you on a future office hours call. We can have them every other Friday. So 2 weeks from now, we'll have another one. I love to see the relationships getting built over here in the comments and stuff. Love to see you guys connecting. That's awesome. Keep it up. And we will see you on our next office hours call. Same time, same place, 2 weeks from now. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.